Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you guys about how to stay motivated and disciplined. So guys, in my opinion, there's two things that involve staying motivated and disciplined. So number one is momentum. So guys, after a certain point of you doing something, after a certain habit is formed, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's showing up to work on time, whether it's just being really consistent in anything, you get to a certain point where you do something for 3 weeks, to between, 30 days and 3 months and 6 months and somewhere in between that time frame where you start to hit momentum, where you just start to do the thing and it's like effortless because it becomes so ingrained in your conscious mind that you don't really even notice it, but you're just running off momentum at this point. So it's almost like, yeah, you have to have some like will and like the will to do it. You have to still generate the will to do the thing, but you're more in a state of flow as opposed to as in a state of like, I have to do this. It's like it becomes more like I'm just doing it at this point versus I have to get the drive and the I have to find something in me to be able to do it because I really don't want to. So that's number one. That's really the thing that's gonna keep you going, throughout your life with whatever is you having built that habit and then just running off momentum because that's what's gonna carry you far, right? But however, right, momentum will, take you afloat, keep you afloat and keep you going. However, when things get tough, right, when you lose money or you're not seeing results or, an emergency happens in your family or you break up with your girlfriend or there's a loss of a loved one, whatever event or circumstances occur in your life, then it's very important to realize why you're doing the thing to begin with. Because like I said, anyone can ingrain, like I said, habits are very biological and very behavior based, but the will to keep going it comes down to like your inner why, because that's when things get tough. When everybody's good when the going's green. When everything's good, when things are just happening and you're making money and your income's growing or your social media's growing or your body's growing or whatever, everything's good and everything's easy. But the real challenge arises when, something happens or, a negative situation occurs or, maybe you have a dry period where you're not making as much money or you're not making as many sales or your body is plateauing and you're not putting on weight or you're not losing weight. And guys, this is gonna happen, but in these times, you have to really get down to why you're doing this, your inner motivation, your intrinsic motivation. Because if you don't have a strong enough why, yeah, you can develop a good habit, right, and continue to go. But when it gets tough, you have to know the why. So for me, for example, right, my why for doing a lot of things, whether it's YouTube, whether it's my side hustle, whether it's working extra hours on my job, whether it's learning stocks and learning crypto, whatever it is, whatever I'm learning or trying to do, I always link it back to my inner why. And I have many reasons why I do things, right? So I have some positive things, some positive whys and some negative whys. So what are some positive whys in my life? Well, I want to be the type of man that people respect, right? I want to be the type of man that can help people, can contribute something. I want to feel a sense of contribution to the world because like I said, right, as a man, and I'm getting on a little side tangent, hear me out real quick. As a man, you are judged and assessed by the value you bring to the world. So I have that inner understanding, and a big part of why I do the things that I do, whether it's the gym, whether it's here, whether it's my side hustle, whether it's learning how to make more money or learning how to be a better speaker or convey myself in a more fluent way, is because I feel like I have some value to give to you guys, right? And I feel like if I'm not doing that, if I'm not delivering value, if I'm not learning, if I'm not showing you guys new things that I learn, then my life starts to feel meaningless, right? So I'm going to my job and I'm like, wait, why am I doing this? If I'm not going to help people, if I'm not helping other people, then why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Why am I continuing to work so hard, right? So one of the biggest whys for me is, and it's a positive one, is being respected by others, but also contributing to the betterment of others' lives, other people's lives. Another thing also is I want to be able to provide for a family someday. I want to be able to keep my wife at home. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to do things that normal people that work 40 years at a job just don't have the time or money to do. That's a very big why for me. I find that very meaningful. I find it very like it's something rare to be able to take care of a family, to be able to travel, to be able to wake up and do what you want when you want. That is something that is very meaningful to me. I can see as something that will be very meaningful to me, right? And some negative whys. So those are two positive whys, and I'll get into some negative whys. Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's some people out there, and like I said, I know that it's not good to be vengeful or want to seek revenge or whatever. But guys, there's some people out there that I just plain out want to just prove wrong. And like I said, I know it's not very selfless and it's not very loving, but I'm just being real, raw, and honest here. There are people out there that I really want to prove wrong. And like I said, it's not anything personal. It's really a matter of just letting people know, like, hey, like, I'm not that person you thought I was, basically. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people have that that's what moves a lot of people. Like, you see guys after breakups, right? They usually, like, if they're not one way, if they're not completely destroyed by it, they'll go the opposite way and they'll just absolutely start crushing goals. They'll start being consistent. And it's because they have a fire under their ass. Like, damn, like, she did me wrong. Like, or a friend or somebody, maybe a family member, like, excommunicated you, or they don't talk to you anymore because, you know, you're this way, or they kicked you out of maybe your family kicked you out of your home and said you're no good, right? Or maybe your teacher one day when you were in third grade said you were dumb. Like, there's just a lot of things. Like I said, it can be different for everybody, but there's a lot of things that people have said to me in the past, or ways people have joked around with me in the past, that I can see, like, wow, that was kind of like a slick move. And like I said, it's not the only reason that I do, like, I try to be consistent and show out and really deliver here, but it's a big reason. And like I said, I feel like a lot of people have that inner sense of, like, wow, I really want to let people know, like, hey, I'm not that person you thought I was. And like I said, that's something that takes time to develop, but I think it's a really good motivator. And like I said, it's really looking at your life. I don't think it's a bad thing, because it's really looking at negative things about what people said about you and turning it into a positive. Because like I said, like, let's say you got bullied or you got dumped by your girl or whatever, and then that destroys you. Now you're a drug addict, right? Well, like, that negative situation happened, but you just let it destroy you, right? So instead of letting it destroy you, you can let that really motivate you, or you can let that affect you in a positive way to keep you motivated and keep you disciplined, so that one day you can show those people, like, hey, you guys were wrong about that. What you said about me was not true. I am not this way. I am not that way, right? And it's different. Like, people get called names and get told off in certain ways, but I want you guys to really come to the conclusion here and understand the big picture, that it's very important that you have inner motivations and things. And it can be, like I said, it's going to be different for everybody, but things that are personal to you. Like, things that people said to me, like, I'm going to be honest. Like I said, some of it is personal. It really is. And like I said, it might not be for you guys, some of you guys, but I'm sure that you guys watching this have people in your life that have told you things that you didn't like. And you really want to show them, like, hey, I'm not this person, by being successful, by having, just a good life, right? And it doesn't have to, I'm not saying you got to be like flashy and buy Lambos and do this and post on social media and do all that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about like having a good life and using the negativity as fuel. Because like I said, it's not so much about you proving them wrong by like, showing them, hey, look at this, look at that. It's more about just using that as fuel to just better your life. Like it's something you can use in a toolbox, right? That some people may not know that they can tap into. So guys, there's always reasons to stay motivated and disciplined. And like I said, I get sidetracked at times. I get lazy at times. I get careless. There's times where I'm careless. There's times where I feel like I'm not good enough, where I feel like I'm tired. But at the end of the day, I look at YouTube, I look at my job, my career, I look at everything that I'm learning outside of my job and my career as part of my job as well. So guys, it's very important that you find reasons to do the things in life, because most people who work, the regular 40 hours a week, or, maybe they don't have a lot of money or they're broke, they don't really have a big enough, they don't have enough reasons to do what they're doing. Like if you just work 40 hours a week at like Starbucks or McDonald's and you're just going home after and watching Netflix and playing video games, there's something wrong there. And then I'm not saying like you're a bad person, but I'm saying as far as like your ability to be successful and your ability to learn things and improve is significantly diminished because you don't have a strong enough reason for why you're living. And that's really what it comes down to. You have to find reasons to do the things that you do. And if you find that, like I said, in the beginning of this video, I did talk about momentum. Momentum will only take you so far because, like I said, inevitably you will hit those roadblocks, you will hit those challenges, those negative life circumstances will come. And to be able to continue to do that over a course of 5, 10, 20, 30 years, there's got to be reasons that are so deep to you and so meaningful to you that's going to keep you going for the long run. Because like I said, anyone can be consistent. Think about all the I was just thinking about this the other day, but think about some of you guys who are into like rap or hip hop, you'll know what I'm talking about. But guys, there are so many hip hop rappers and artists that only come out with albums like once every like 2 to 5 years. But I was just thinking, two of like the most consistent rappers in the past 20 years, well, 10 to 20 years, have been Drake and Nas. Every year, damn near every year, they have came out with an album, right? And I'm sure that they have, like I said, I don't know their backstory necessarily. I know a little bit of backstory about Nas, but I'm sure they have reasons why they make music. I mean, you can hear it in their lyrics and things like that. And a lot of them have, had people say negative things about them, and it probably fuels their art and their ability to be great lyricists. Now, I heard maybe Drake has a ghostwriter. I don't know if that's true or not, but regardless, the consistency and the ability to keep going over the long run is obviously a byproduct of them having a big enough why, or a multitude of reasons why they do what they do. So yeah, guys, this is very important to understand if you want to stay consistent over a long period of time, because like I said, you can do something good for 1 year, 2 years, but can you do it for 5? Can you do it for 10, for 20? Right? Think about the greatest basketball players too, like Kobe, LeBron, MJ, like they've done it for decades. They were winning championships for at least a decade. Like LeBron went to like seven or eight, I think it was like 7 or 8 finals between like 2007 and 2018, 2007 and 2017. I think he went to like 7 NBA finals. There's going to be a lot of reasons why he's consistent, right? Whether it's, like I said, contributing to others or being an example for the youth, whatever it is, there's reasons behind it. So if you feel like you're struggling with motivation and discipline, really sit down and figure out what makes me do what I do, or what are some things I can think back in my life that can really motivate me to do, or future things that future goals that you can set for yourself that will have an impact on your life that you can use to help you become more productive today and over the long run. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe. If you have any questions, anything, leave them down below, and I'll talk to you guys soon.